strength training, and personalized nutrition. So when our official challenge begins January 10th, you're already ahead of the game. Spots are limited. Don't wait for January to make your resolution. Start strong now. Visit fxbeatlincoln.com or stop by one of our 2 locations at South 40th and Yankee Hill or North 70th and Vine. Barrel's Extreme Body Shaping. Stronger starts here.
MWR is dedicated to building attractive, affordable steel buildings that exceed your expectations. From commercial to residential to agriculture storage, steel buildings are cost-effective, attractive, and versatile. Plus, they're a lasting investment and an ideal choice. MWR uses Sentinel Building Systems out of Albion and can service you all over the state and region. If you have interest in a steel building, post-frame building, or fencing, give MWR a call today at 402-980-5273 or go to mwrbuildingandfence.com.
Hi, Charlie Stone here, and it's that time of the year again. Time for the annual Happy Honda Days at Honda of Lincoln. With me on the line, Andy Goodyear, to tell us all about it.
The exciting news is we have more selection and more savings. We have over 400 new 2025 and 2026 Hondas to choose from, with a great opportunity to get year-end savings on every remaining new 2025.
Do you have some Happy Honda Day specials?
Sure do, Charlie. For example, you can lease a new 2025 Accord Sport Hybrid for just $349 a month, and we have financing from just 0% APR. We've also included over 125 pre-owned of all makes and models, and as always, our certified pre-owns are in this sale as well.
Well, maybe it's time you experience the best. The Honda of Lincoln way of doing business, 27th and Yankee Hill Road, or online at hondaoflincoln.com.
This holiday season, give the gift of good taste with a gift card from Valentino's. During double discount days, double your discount from $5 to $10 free with a $50 gift card purchase. Valentino's handcrafted pizza has been a family favorite for generations, and our gift cards make the perfect holiday gift. And right now, during gift card double discount days, when you buy $50 in gift cards, get a $10 gift card free. Happy holidays from Valentino's.
Leaves are falling and temperatures are cooling down, but don't put your golf clubs away. Double Eagle Golf makes golf leagues and events possible year-round. Winter leagues begin on December 1st and are open for registration. Check out their deals on monthly memberships and schedule your Husker Watch parties, birthday or bachelor parties, corporate or team outings, or just a good old Saturday with the boys. That's all at Double Eagle Golf inside the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street. Book a tee time today or learn more at doubleeagle.golf.
Acreage owner getting ready for winter? Make it easy with John Deere compact tractors and gators from Acres Equipment. Add snow blowers, front blades, cabs, heaters, and loaders to tackle every chore. Right now, in-stock units are priced to move with competitive financing to fit your budget. Get winter ready today at acres.com. Acres Equipment, your acreage handled. Financing subject to approved credit with John Deere Financial. Not all customers qualify. See dealer for details.
Load up on meat and more this fall at the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. From now through the end of November, Ferndale fresh turkeys are just $3.99 per pound and in limited stock, perfect for your holiday meals. Plus, you can stop by for lunch on Fired Up Thursday at the Mercado East or Fired Up Friday at the Mercado North. With locations at 84th and Havelock, 30th and Yankee Hill, and now 85th and Old Cheney in Lincoln, or 168th and Maple in Omaha, get to the Mercado today for the best meat in town.
Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is the Don't Punt Hour with former Nebraska receiver.
Throwing over the middle, completes the pass. He's got speed to the end zone. Touchdown. 45 yards.
And return specialist.
This time he beats the kicker and one more.
DeMornay Pierson-El.
Not only does the sideline have confidence in Pierson-El, but Pierson-El has confidence in Pierson-El.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome in at Don't Punt Hour. Harrison runs on the ones and twos. We got NFL on the brick and mortar, and it is currently tied up 16-16. The Philadelphia Eagles 8-4, taking on the Los Angeles Chargers, who are also 8-4. potential for overtime here. As it is 16-16. Been an interesting game. I think it might be the first time that me and maybe you, DeMornay Pierson-El, have ever seen an interception and fumble by the same player on the same play. But it has been that kind of
easy now. He's from my area. I know him very well.
That was a tough play.
Yeah, he was also the number one athlete in our class.
Well, he's making millions and I'm not, Mornay. So I don't think he's going to be feeling like my words are getting to him too much. I think he'll be all right. But, I understand defending your guy out there in Jalen Hurts has been the best game for him nonetheless. I just thought it was interesting. That's what I was getting at there. 3 minutes. I don't really have the game on. I'm just seeing highlights. I know you've probably been watching it. Who feels like they're going to come out of this one right now? Eagles.
I really don't know because they're both playing inconsistent. I think they'll start and getting in rotation, and then it'll just it's very ugly and sloppy. But
it doesn't look like either team's playing great. Just looking at the numbers.
With playing like that, I mean, I'll stick with just Philly just because. I mean, they've kind of been in those sticky situations. I know they're kind of like on the down right now, but
just because the Bears beat them?
No, I mean, y'all ain't too much when y'all really go up against top tier teams. Y'all, it is what it is. You got Philly. Philly is struggling right now, but it happens. But I don't know. Like I said, I give the benefit of the doubt to Philly. They always seem to kind of figure things out and everything like that. They got a whole lot of turmoil and everything like that, and people are still showing up and playing. Like I think it's the play calling that's the issue more so than like the actual players. I don't think they really get anybody into a rhythm. And I mean, starting with Jalen, and it just kind of spreads out. Like nobody kind of meshes up or goes off or anything like that. They really, I don't think they have an identity. But even still, they got a lot of top players in a lot of positions that can take over a game, and it could be in the blink of an eye. They can pull away from you.
Yeah, I'm not quitting on the Eagles. I do think you're right. I don't know. We talked about this last week. I just think their biggest problem is predictability. Like if they had an identity this year, it would be follow the script. Like they don't really try to do anything too crazy or mix things up, but they're winning at 8-4. The offense hasn't been nearly exciting, and again, I don't know if it's predictability out of them, and they expect Saquon Barkley to be able to run through people, regardless. Just hasn't had that quite near, well, not even close to the same year he had last year, and obviously the offense looks a bit different as well. 3 interceptions for Hurts, 1 touchdown, 1 interception for Justin Herbert. I think the predictability too is nothing that's just hurting Jalen Hurts. Like they just kind of run the ball. 3rd and long, Hurts, drop back and throw it. Like I don't know. Am I wrong? Is that like a way too simplified version of describing the Eagles' woes this year?
No, I mean, I think you definitely hot with it. Like I said, I mean, of course there's that, but like I don't think nobody gets in a rhythm, and it's all out of sync.
Yeah.
And like I said, you got too many top tier players on one team, and it just, I mean, AJ Brown necessarily wasn't getting the touches or as many touches necessarily as he was last year, and his stats wasn't anything crazy. But I mean, they were winning, they were dominating, and he had his game.
Like a third, a number 3 wide receiver with the amount of targets he gets at some points in time. And it's like, I understand you got a good offensive line and a really good running back, and you got a quarterback you trust. I'm like, but you got some dudes at wide receiver, and you don't get enough out of them. Like, what are you paying them all that money for? So they can be a distraction? And like,
I mean, I think they're going to have to do something sooner or later with one of them with trading. I think it's too much money in the same cap year. So, we can start to see kind of that team kind of break up a bit.
Certainly, we will. Certain parts of it, at the very least. Other news that I just wasn't expecting to get to tonight, but it happened. Phillip Rivers coming back to the Colts potentially. 44-year-old vet, 2020, so 5 years, almost going to be 6 years since he retired.
That is absolute crazy. Like I know there's somebody else necessarily out there, and maybe and maybe it's because of his veteran presence and everything like that. It gets you over the hump and kind of keeps you. The Phillip Rivers, I think, brings a sort of energy and everything like that to where you can respect it enough. And he won't necessarily do anything wrong. He'll have people in the right places. He'll make the right throws, but it's just crazy that that's the level that you have to go to. They should have tried for Andrew Luck. See if Andrew Luck would have came out.
That's the name I almost thought of first. When I first saw that, I was like, "Huh, you think Andrew Luck would be first back?" But does Phillip Rivers have a wife? Do you even know?
Yeah, he does. And he got like 12 kids.
Miss Rivers has got to be hot with this decision. I really doubt she was.
I think majority of his kids, I think majority of them are all like over the age of 10. But I want to say he has like 11 or 12 kids. I'm not lying.
He's just like, he's 44 and he hasn't played in 5 years. Maybe he's fine. And he has been keeping everything. I'm sure he's worked out enough for him to consider doing this at all. But
I know. I don't know if he coaches one of his sons' high school team, but I know he's very, very active. I think they're living either San Diego or Arkansas. I can't remember. I want to say Arkansas though. But I know he's actively still kind of intense in training and everything like that. I know for a fact that I've seen a video, I want to say like earlier this year, of him kind of giving a life update with some stuff.
Crazy. Not like I said, I don't know what to make of it. I have no idea how healthy he looks. If he can do it and they can keep him clean, like maybe there's a shot. It's just been 5 or 6 years by the time he gets down.
I mean, his body's rested enough. I mean, I'm like, hey, you got 6, 7 games in you. Yeah, I can do that. So I mean, you just kind of need it for a playoff run.
Yeah,
it's not a full season. Like he just needs you, for the next month and a half. And we potentially can get you a bowl.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I'm hoping for it now, but can you imagine like a Phillip Rivers Super Bowl this year?
That would be crazy.
If it somehow works.
That would be.
You can go back in time and tell people at the beginning of the year, like, "Hey, the Colts are going to win the Super Bowl, and Phillip Rivers is going to be the MVP." Everyone would think
you're crazy.
You're on something
for sure.
Gee, that's crazy. But who knows? It could happen. I mean, he's going to be practicing, and they'll see how it all works out. But that is now officially in the works. All right, we had plenty of Husker news as well, but quickly, 1916 Eagles score. 2 minutes left to go. 2:16 left to go in the fourth quarter between the Philadelphia Eagles and Los Angeles Chargers. 1916 Eagles lead. Husker football. You want to start with John Butler and moving on from him and bring in Rob Ulrich out of San Diego State?
Or that's how you say his name?
Is it Ulrich? Ulrich?
I don't know. I've been waiting to hear somebody else say it. I didn't want to mess it up.
I've been hearing Ulrich. Like A-U or yeah.
Okay, great. I'll wait till the press conference and have him pronounce.
You can always wait till just call him Rob for now, or the new defensive coordinator. But they bring him out of San Diego State, and then on the offensive line they bring in a Jeep Wade, and that is how you say it, Jeep Wade. I want to have confident in, like a Jeep Cherokee. Yep,
with the G.
Yeah. Interesting first name. I don't know.
He's got to be from somewhere down south. Got to be.
Yeah, that sounds like a down south name. I don't know any other Jeeps in my life, but it is Jeep Wade. You want to start with Ulrich? Or
we can start with him.
Okay, so they bring him in out of San Diego State. I think now John Butler being fired was probably the least surprising thing out of this Husker staff so far.
That was a bit of a head scratcher.
Oh, you thought it was a head scratcher?
I don't think it was bad enough year one to where that was warranted. That was just me. Like I said, I mean, your starting quarterback goes down for the past 4 games, 5 games.
Yep.
And a true freshman steps in there and so that's kind of a little bit unfair to him because up until that point, defense was honestly
really in the offense though.
Huh?
He's not coaching the offense. He's just coaching the defense.
I understand that, but if the starting quarterback is out and the offense can't operate how it normally operates, who's going to be on the field more, offense or defense?
Oh, defense, certainly.
All right. So if defense is on the field more, what happens at some point in time? They're going to get tired. They're going to get worn out, and things are going to happen, right or wrong. So
right.
I can't really put that on him when that's something he can't control.
Yeah. I mean, the run game was what people fired him off of.
I get that.
The run. It was a younger defensive line. I mean, I said it at the beginning. I don't hate the move. I don't love the move. It felt like you just kind of put yourself in a situation where things weren't going to go right, and you're going to have to make a gut check call. Because, again, I don't know why you bring in. I don't know what some of these coaches' roles are. I'm not saying that they're the problem. I'm not in there, so I can't tell you. But you lose Tony White, you upgrade John Butler, but then you still have Phil Snow sitting there who you don't think, is ever going to be in that defensive coordinator spot. Did John Butler want to run the 3-3-5, or was he told to run the 3-3-5? Does John Butler, who has a pretty NFL-style defense, like, it just felt like you were trying to mesh two styles together, and it never did mesh. And I think that's why he got fired. I think, he wasn't comfortable running.
So is that his mess up, or is that Rule's mess up?
Well, it's Rule's, but is Rule going to fire himself?
No.
Exactly. Again, I'm not. Sounds like I'm calling.
He's also not going to come out and say I had it wrong.
Job, but I'm just saying it.
He's not going to come out and say what exactly it was. So I mean, that sounds like I don't.
He was not set up to succeed, but because of where it was, I understand why he let him go, even though it might have been his fault, not Butler's fault, but the rest of the staff. Like, that is college football. Unfortunately, at times it's the wrong people don't always get punished. And I don't know, it could even be position coaches. Maybe Matt Rule hired the right guy in John Butler. Or
I have a question with him coming in necessarily, and the people that you have here. How many of those guys are necessarily being retained, or how many? I'm assuming he's bringing in his guys.
You would assume.
So I don't think. I think the two coaches that are already gone. I think we're the first of a few more to follow. I mean, I know Eck isn't going anywhere. Is the dude that came from the Chiefs, is he going anywhere?
That's an interesting one with Terry Braden. I was very high on Terry Braden, and that was the worst we've seen our defensive line in a long time. Now, given one of the younger ones we've had in a long time as well. So, but we didn't really hear from him after the beginning of the season. I'm not saying he owes us to the public every time, but yeah, Terry Braden.
So I mean, I'm very interested to see kind of what is the shuffle, because I mean they were talking highly about a lot of dudes that stepped up and came in and everything like that. And I mean, you fired one guy that was in the system for 2 years, and so like I said, we'll see. That's the part that I'm intrigued about of what is going to happen.
Yeah, I'm just confused by how are they going to blend styles? And if they can blend styles, they can work out the way I think they wanted to. But on the defense, the thing that makes him so great coming out of San Diego State.
What defense does he run?
I think he runs the 3-3-5. But they were only giving up 12.9 points per game, and they were 5th scoring nationally on defense. So you got an aggressive defense who runs the same style and who gets a lot of turnovers. The one thing that every coach says they want, obviously turnovers swing games. But if you're going to get rid of a guy, you better go get a guy with a good body of work. I know some people wanted the bigger names. They wanted the Penn State defensive coordinator. They maybe wanted, I don't know, pick any SEC school, a South Carolina defensive coordinator. But they went with San Diego State's DC, and I don't mind it. Give me with the guy that has the body of work that works wherever he goes.
He's definitely been consistent everywhere he's been. I know that for a fact. I haven't really took a deep dive into him, just yet and everything like that. But anybody and everybody, because I think he was at South Dakota as well. They talk highly about him and everything like that. So hopefully, he got it. He his judgment was better, I guess, on this round. Only time will tell. I didn't know he ran a 3-3-5, so it's going to be interesting to kind of see exactly what is up, or are they bringing in bigger players, or so. Like I said, it's great that is done and over with. And the guy's going to bring definitely a different type of intensity and whatnot. So it should be good.
Yeah, I just want to double check here, make sure he is running that. I'm almost positive he runs the same defense. I'll give you some of the numbers though. Like I said, the Aztecs just gave up 12.6 points per game last year. They ranked number 5 nationally in scoring defense. The year prior to that, they were number 97 and giving them 29.6. Yikes.
So what is their record this year?
It is.
And who did they play?
Man, 9-3.
Okay.
They played North Texas, or excuse me, that's who they're going to end up playing in the bowl game. They played Stony Brook. They lost to Washington State. That was loss number 1. They beat California, Northern Illinois, Colorado State, Nevada, Fresno State, Wyoming. They lost to Hawaii. They gave up 38 points on that one. And then they lost.
Okay, so they played a new Pac-12. Got it.
They played even less than the new Pac-12. I mean, that's not a great. I mean, it's hard to tell. They were first in the Mountain West, but again, with some of that competition, does he do more with better talent is always kind of the question. But they were horrible pretty much before that.
The year before.
And then he got there, and they're significantly better. Like, I think you get credit for that, regardless.
Oh, for sure.
Is you found a way to fix it. And I could have sworn they won the 3-3-5. I'll have to look that up, as we're going to have to go to break here. And then I want to talk about the Utah Bowl as well. Not the Utah Bowl. Utah's never going to be facing, but the Las Vegas Bowl as well, which is that or the Music City Bowl. I think Music City would have been the better of the two, but Vegas, not a bad
You were in Vegas for New Year's? Come on now.
There's more money. Music City Bowl. That's the only reason I say that. More money for your program. Less distractions, if we're being honest, down there in the Las Vegas Bowl. All right, we'll throw it the break. Don't go anywhere. Don't punt hour. Good morning, Pierson-El, Harrison Arns.
Hey guys, it's Carly from Boyd Farm Outfitters. Farmers, you need to know about Green Eye Spot Spray. With Green Eye, we replace your existing spray boom with a brand new aluminum boom equipped with camera technology that identifies and sprays only weeds and not your crop. The boom comes with 2 spray lines so you can still broadcast residual herbicide while you're spot spraying weeds that are up. Green Eye users in Nebraska are saving a ton of money on herbicides, but that's just the beginning. Learn more at BoydFarmOutfitters.com. That's BOECK FarmOutfitters.com.
If you want to make new floor shopping easier, come to O Street Carpet. Hi, I'm Steve Carper. Our flooring professionals can help you choose the best flooring for you, your family, and your budget. We eliminate the confusion. Even better, you'll be enjoying your new flooring much sooner. No 6 or 8 week waits. We'll install right away and save you money on installation. Floor shopping made easy every day at O Street Carpet. O Street Carpet. 1732 O Street. Family owned and operated. Always the best value.
This is former Husker and NFL linebacker Jay Foreman. For years, I've suffered from degenerative problems in both of my ankles, but thanks to a thorough and thought-out plan provided by Advanced Medical Imaging, I was able to get my life back with the least amount of pain as possible. While working through multiple options, the team of physicians at Advanced Medical Imaging were there to answer any questions I had. If you're experiencing any pain at all and want to get your life back, go to amimaging.com or give them a call at 402-484-6677. Advanced Medical Imaging, located at 7601 Pioneers Boulevard.
At Parkview Animal Hospital in Lincoln, it's not just their professional care that sets them apart, but their warm staff and state-of-the-art facilities. Whether it's for a routine checkup or a comprehensive medical procedure, at Parkview, your pet isn't just another number, but a valued member of their caring family. Visit them at pahlincoln.com today and in person just south of 14th and Pine Lake Road. Parkview Animal Hospital, your pet, their passion for happier, healthier, furry friends.
I'm Karen Carr. I've been a realtor for 31 years. When I made a company change 12 years ago, I chose Lincoln First Realty, now NP Dodge. It's the oldest independently owned realty company in the country. Since becoming NP Dodge, we've continued our tradition of community involvement. Our management and staff are always available to offer support in marketing, technology, social media, and educational opportunities.
Expand your career with NP Dodge. Call Eric at 402-434-2222.
It's the holiday season. Time for work parties, friend get-togethers, and family gatherings, which means lots of eating. Maybe you think you've perfected your holiday meals, and maybe you have no idea where to even start. Let's fix that right now. No holiday party is complete without Führer's cheese spread. It goes well with any type of cracker, pretzels, apples, chili, vegetable chips, and of course, it's perfect to pair with wine or beer. Holiday meals aren't complete until Führer's cheese spread is on the table. Find your own container at your nearest local grocery store today.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription, or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
Midwest Bank is hosting our annual Thanksgiving food drive, partnering with local Lincoln schools to provide Thanksgiving dinners to families in need. We hope to provide meals for more than 120 families in our community this year. You can help by dropping off a donation at either Midwest Bank location, 7001 Pioneers Boulevard or 2655 Jamie Lane. Any donation is greatly appreciated. Your community, your bank, Midwest Bank, member FDIC.
Fall is officially here, and Brown's Shoe Fit has just the right style and comfort your feet deserve. Stop in to see a wide selection of all your favorite brands, including Brooks, Hoka, Echo, Keen, and many more. At Brown's Shoe Fit, they take the time to measure your feet to ensure proper fit. They also have the largest selection of Uggs and Hokas in Lincoln. Brown's Shoe Fit at 66th and Q.
This is where it happens. Long hikes with friends, kayaking adventures with family, more horseback riding, zipline gliding, rock face climbing, hammock camping fun than you could ever imagine. And it's all outdoors, amongst the trees and across the prairie, here beneath Nebraska skies. Plan an outing today at yournebraskaadventure.com. Sponsored by Nebraska Game and Parks, aired with the Nebraska Broadcasters Association and this station.
This is the Don't Punt Hour on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. Here is your host, DeMornay Pierson-El.
Welcome back in. Here's the runs on the ones and twos. We got the morning Pierson-El streaming in the Don't Punt Hour. You guys are always welcome to join in, although we still got NFL on the brick and mortar. And am I looking at this right? Are we going to be heading into, well, let me pause the music first. All right, good morning, Pierson-El. I want to ask you, are we heading into overtime? I think I'm behind.
Yeah, we are. It's 1919.
All right. Extra NFL content for everyone on the brick and mortar. Otherwise, just listen to the app. If you're listening to us now, that means you probably already found the streams or the app. 19-19. All tied up, heading into OT between the Eagles and the Commanders. Jalen Hurts, 17 for 33, 187 yards, 3 touchdowns. Justin Herbert, 11 for 25, 138 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 pick. Saquon Barkley did finally break 100 yards, though. 118 yards on 18 carries and a touchdown. Justin Herbert is actually the leading rusher for the Chargers. That's not great. 8 carries for 53 yards. And then A.J. Brown, he's got 6 receptions for 100 yards already. All right, good morning, Pierson-El. Segment number 2. Let's talk about Jeep Wade. When you look at Georgia Tech's QB running attack, I mean, there's a lot of designed plays for the QB to go and run the ball, whether it's QB draws or a read option. They were given a lot of options to go out there and run it. And then you think of Dana Holgorsen. How do you think that blend is going to be? And who's do you want to? I mean, I don't know. Do you kind of lean in? What if say we have TJ Lateef back to kind of that Georgia Tech offensive line and how they attacked? Or do you think it's going to be closer to what Dana's been doing already?
Um, I think what it needs to necessarily be of, I guess, alignment, assignment, and execution from an upfront standpoint. I think that will be able to launch kind of what you can do if you got a physical, ground attack that can, move people off the line and everything like that. I mean, Rule wants to run the ball. He's shown that, and I know that they were trying to get Emmett to the end of the season, which is why it was the way, early on, with just making sure you're not overdoing it. But I don't think necessarily QB running is necessarily what we will adapt or anything like that. I think it'd be a hybrid blend. But like I said, execution, certain, alignment, assignment with in the trenches and getting off the ball should, improve and everything like that. I think he'll bring that expertise of just making it and hopefully getting it back to, because when people watch, Georgia Tech, it's like, man, that's how we should be doing stuff and everything like that. I think if he can bring that back and sprinkle that in, and we touch, that within a span of a few months of him being in here and getting, guys coached up and, a different eye at things, I think we'll be definitely cooking with grease.
Yeah, I mean, they play smash mouth football.
Yeah.
And that's the allure, I think, for a lot of Nebraska fans. It's like you go watch their games. It's like they just running through people. What's the quarterback's name? King?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, we're losing a lot on the offensive side. And we know what Dana wants to run and everything like that. It just depends what things are going to look like in the receiver room, what things are going to look like in the running back room, what things are going to look like in the quarterback room. Like, it's a lot of moving pieces, and it's hard to, give a definitive, like, oh, it's going to be X, Y, and Z and everything like that. So I can't per se, but like I said, as long as they are blowing people off the ball and everything like that, or, at least moving them within a yard, and they're looking like the hammer and not the nail and everything like that, I think that would be, a huge benefit.
Yeah, and the thing that why I'm not super worried about it, I'll give it time, is I don't think he's going to come in here and say we have TJ Lateef being like, all right, TJ Lateef, this is what I did with King. King is a thick, kind of stout build.
Different type of style of running back, of quarterback.
Yeah, that was just good play. Good on Georgia Tech for, okay, what do we have?
Playing with their strengths.
Exactly. So it's not going to be, we're not going to be sending TJ Lateef, in between the guards all the time. Like he's going to have some opportunities to kind of figure out, where do we work best on this offensive line? What do the skill players around my offensive line look like? All right, Dana Holgorsen, let's make this thing work. And I do think, I have a good feeling about it. He doesn't seem like a bad hire. It'd be hard to look at Tech and what they've done and look at this as like, why would you hire this guy? There's some proof in the pudding to make you like the idea, although it hasn't always worked here. So you don't have to go full sell into it. Let's see. Anthony in Portland. I've been watching Georgia Tech the last couple of years. Brent Key,
they've been playing physical
there. They played Notre Dame tough last year. They have the toughness. Rule is looking to improve on. Looking forward to what he can do. So it's a good sign off from Anthony in Portland, who's watched him for a while.
And the coach has a style. And I think a few of his players at Georgia Tech jumped in the portal. I'm not saying that they're coming here or anything like that, but it was announced and players left. But I think, he definitely has a style or have an eye or a knack for guys that fit his system. And I think that a new perspective necessarily coming in and everything like that, he'll be looking for something different. Not to say he's going to move on from guys or anything like that, but just evaluating talent and everything like that fit his scheme. Not to say that we don't have dudes here that do or anything like that. It might be, coaching cues or something like that. It might be a different technique, linemen, their center of gravity and foots and hand placements and everything like that. It's a different world that I'm not, living in. But like I said, you can plug and play. It just might, hit different, a new coach is coming in, a new different type of skill to learn the skill or how to get the job done and everything like that. So, like I said, it's a fresh new eyes. He's on the East Coast, he's familiar with probably, stuff on that and everything like that. That way it's just not one dimensional or, a certain area or that, we might have been thinking to only get guys from or something like that. So I think it'll be very, very beneficial.
Yeah, let's hope and see. The coaching on this team feels like it has enough. Like you got enough dudes hanging around that should be able to coach up the team. And I'm not saying you need to start firing people, but again, when you look at the staff at Nebraska, it's extensive. You've got some pro guys, you've got some guys that have only been at the high school level, and then get your assistants or just volunteers that are coming in from high school programs. But you have a very big coaching staff. You just got to make sure the right guys have the right amount of voice on the team and that they're all following under one identity. And that's where Rule's got to step up. And I think this team for next season, like if Matt Rule and crew want to have a good fourth year, especially looking at who we're all going to have on schedule, and even a team like Michigan State, who is going to be more dangerous with Fitzgerald. I know you and me are both super high on that hire for those guys. Like the Big Ten isn't slowing down anytime soon. So the longer this takes, the tougher it's going to be. Year 4, once again, a little bit of a soft reset. I won't call it a full reset, but you clearly made some wrong moves. Otherwise, you're not firing people. You got to figure out a way to start catching ground here. So get under that same page. You got the CEO kind of position now. You can walk around, make sure everybody is on that same page. You got anything left for the 2 new coaches at Nebraska?
That's it.
That's it too. Now I just got to go out and see it. Let's talk about the Las Vegas Bowl. And we got Utah. I would have liked Nashville, not just because it's more money. You get LSU. I'm not saying Nebraska's doomed to lose this game, but they will not be favored.
I like this matchup better, honestly. Like I'm
crazy.
You're crazy.
You are crazy.
No,
Utah's got some.
No,
a mobile quarterback team that will run it down your throat at will. That seems like some things Nebraska struggles to stop.
And you don't think LSU necessarily has that or would have that?
No, not to the same degree. I would honestly probably take this Utah team to beat LSU.
You're sleeping.
I wouldn't.
I completely disagree with you. It's not even close.
Have you
their defense is very, very aggressive. We've already shown, what we, need to improve at and everything like that. And you want that to line up, that can cause potential points. With Utah, is Utah a physical team and everything like that? Yes, they are. But I think we match up. We match up better. The concern with Utah is how mobile and shifty the quarterback is. If things break down and everything like that, is the only concern I have with Utah. They are a well-oiled machine and everything like that. But I still like our chances better with Utah than LSU.
I mean, okay, so the games that Utah lost, like if you want to play down Utah, we'll do that.
I'm not playing them down. I'm just saying.
Well, okay, if you had to pick between the two, this is why you are picking Utah. That's a nicer way to say it. Texas Tech, they lost 34-10. They gave 34 points to Texas Tech. They only scored 10. And then they lost to BYU, rivalry game, Holy War, 24-21. Now, if you want to do the comparisons of teams that we've played and they've also played, they beat UCLA 43-10. They beat Cincinnati 45-14. And then when they get in a shootout like versus Kansas State, they win at 51-47.
So their defense is terrible too. That's all you're telling me.
Well, no, I mean they hold Cincinnati to 14.
I don't know what time what time of the year did they play Cincinnati at? Was that early in the year or late in the year?
That was their with 4 games left remaining. That was the 4th game on the 4th. And then Kansas State, which I thought was a good win because they caught themselves in the shootout. They were able to keep up with it and they won. That was the second last game of the week. And then they beat Kansas last game of the year 31-21. Early on, I mean, they didn't really play anybody. UCLA, to be fair, was that first game when UCLA really came out of the gate slow. The Texas Tech was their 4th game into the season. And after that loss, they beat the brakes off of West Virginia 48-14. And then they beat Arizona State before Arizona State started falling apart
I thought Levitt was hurt that game though. I don't think Levitt played that game.
And let me double check because that'll change it a little bit. Levitt, yeah, it was not Levitt.
Yeah, so
that 42-10 is still a big number, but it wasn't Levitt. And then
you know who was at quarterback, huh?
Sims.
Yeah, exactly. So that's about 3 turnovers. I don't want to hear it.
I tried to skim over that.
Not gonna happen.
Colorado, they steamroll them. You should. Cincinnati, surprisingly, Cincinnati thought they were going to sneak into the college football playoffs, and then Utah came through. Tempe definitely scares me quite a bit. I'm nervous about this game with LSU. I just don't know what version of LSU you're going to get. I mean, now you got Lane Kiffin. I don't know.
He's not going to be calling plays. I mean,
No,
what is he going to implement his offense in a month?
No, but I'm just saying, like, I don't know what the vibes of that team are at all right now. Which guys are staying? Which guys are leaving?
You don't think that they're trying to give a last Hail Mary to show Lane firsthand why they should stay? That's a motivated team.
Well, there's some guys that probably already got a call from the other school and said, like, yeah, don't worry about it. Like, that's the problem with it. There's always these conversations that shouldn't be happening that are happening. And I mean, we'll get to it. Why the hell is Notre Dame not playing in a bowl game?
Because they're crybabies. They're pouting. Florida State didn't opt out when they went undefeated and won the ACC and got left out. They went and played Georgia. Now Georgia, they had some players opt out, but even still, so I think they're throwing a temper tantrum. I don't think that's the right thing to do, and I don't know if the players chose to do that, but you're forfeiting the opportunity to put that uniform on one last time, and go out with a bang. I don't think that's right. And I mean, honestly, it triggered a whole lot of other stuff. I can understand Iowa State. I can understand who else was hurt. Is it Baylor or
Kansas State? Rutgers. Yeah. There's a few more.
What happened with Rutgers?
That's what we're talking about on old school. I know Kansas State, Iowa State for sure, and I think Rutgers did as well.
But I don't know, like, why Rutgers is opting out. Like,
yeah, Rutgers declined the invitation to the Birmingham Bowl against Georgia Southern.
They just probably feel a little bit disrespected. But anyways, like you're robbing kids the one last time. Like, there's going to be more kids to not. That'll be their last football game was played last month or last week or 2 weeks ago. Like, they would never, step foot on a football field again. Like, you're robbing them one last go because your feelings are mad and upset about stuff. I don't think that's necessarily right. I don't care. And I mean, and if the whole team, we're going to vote and do that and everything like that, that's a different thing. But I find that difficult to think every person, let's not do that. Because you get bowl game gifts, you get stipends, you get a vacation and everything like that.
Your program gets money. You do get to take a check home.
So I understand you're mad that you didn't get in. Did they get it right? I don't know. But
I think they did. Tell me, Notre Dame, who the hell did you play? Oh, you played Miami and Texas A&M and you lost in both of them? Okay.
I'm not mad at what took place and everything like that. You didn't handle business and you can't blame nobody else but you. Like, you are literally throwing a temper tantrum when it's not their fault. Like, your resume necessarily didn't line up. I'm sorry.
Well, you get cupcakes all year. You just can't lose 2 games when those are the key games that you only schedule. You only schedule so many. So when you go
both those teams that you lost to respectively, if they probably played in their conference championship, they probably would have won. They were one game away from being in their conference championship. Miami was, and Texas A&M was. If Texas A&M plays in that championship over Bama, I don't know if we're having that conversation. Like, I still think A&M gives, Georgia a run for their money. If Miami is played Duke in their conference championship, they slaughter Duke. Or if they play Virginia, I think that still would be, a decent game and everything like that. I still think Miami will pull out the win. So you're talking about teams that was one game away from, their championship. You're not in a conference championship. So either join something or schedule harder games to make your schedule, not seem so, easy.
Yeah. For them just canceling the bowl game, like that is the most non-Notre Dame thing you could do. You're freaking Notre Dame. That's the Rudy movie. Like, come on.
That's like you hit somebody and expect them not to hit you back. As soon as they hit you back, you drop to your knees and cry and go tell, they hit me. No, you pretend to be the big bad wolf and everything like that to take your lick like everybody else has. We've seen Bama be mad about stuff that they felt disrespected about. They still showed up. We've seen Georgia, be mad about certain things. Georgia lost the SEC title or didn't go to the SEC title a few years ago and still ended up winning the national championship. Like, you don't hear them complain.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. They have no ground to stand on. Like, not only do you get a good bowl game, we were talking about this on Old School with Foreman and DP, you get to probably pick where do you want to go? Pick a city, pick a bowl game.
And they would gladly have you.
Yeah, exactly. Like, easily, because the Notre Dame fans, they will go. That is also another huge middle finger because they got a loyal fan base that will travel, and they just said, "You're done for the season, guys. Don't worry about it."
You're not the only 10-2 team that lost, and they were 10-2, right?
Yeah.
Honestly, like outside of the playoffs, I don't even think you're the best 10-2 team because Vanderbilt has better wins than you.
I agree. Again, you lost to Miami and Texas A&M probably when they're at their worst. You could argue that's when you were at your worst because those are elite, but it was also at their worst. And I think they got better because they played tough opponents and found ways to win. And once again, Notre Dame is playing cupcake after cupcake, and they get a few tough games every year. Like, no, your strength of schedule at some point matters when everyone's got a similar record. So, and for them quitting throwing a temper tantrum has made me throw a mini temper tantrum on this show. It is TV stuff.
One question: will the Heisman be awarded before their bowl game?
Notre Dame, or what do you mean?
If Notre Dame would have played in a bowl game, would the Heisman been awarded before their bowl game? Because if not,
it would have been after. So you also ruined.
I think you're robbing a player that honestly, after the last 2 weeks looking at things and everything like that, he was really, really close to probably being a front runner. Yep. You're robbing yourself of getting a Heisman winner. I think their running back could, he might finish 2, or I think it's between him and one of the quarterbacks. I mean, probably Indiana's quarterback, but you're robbing your running back to win the best award in college football because you want to throw a tantrum fit. You telling me that guy doesn't deserve to give it one last shot to show the voters and everything like that why he's the best player in college football? Like, you're taking that opportunity. He's not going to ever get the opportunity to win a Heisman again. And because you, as a university as a whole and everything like that, you're robbing that kid of probably potentially lifelong dream. Who doesn't dream about winning a Heisman that played college football? Linemen do.
It's ridiculous. Let's go. We got another one from Anthony in Portland. Our guy all the way out there in Portland. All right. He says NBC has a $50 million stranglehold on them, on Notre Dame, to be fair. He says, I definitely disagree with the bowl game choice, but it's hard to take a huge pay cut to join a conference. Yeah, and I think that's fair.
Notre Dame is not lacking on money.
Well, it's because they're not in a conference. So I do agree. I don't blame Notre Dame for not being.
But you're in a conference for
for
basketball. You're in a conference for field hockey. You're in a conference for lacrosse. Your lacrosse team just won the national championship in the past 2 years. I think they're all ACC.
Yeah, ACC is pretty much everything else. I don't sure.
Half the school year, you're in a conference. The other half, or the majority, the biggest money that brings in, you're not. Like I don't understand how it's gotten that far. They've gotten away with it this long when half of your school belongs to a conference. Just make the whole conference. Just make the whole school in a conference.
They don't want to compete. They don't want to have those more competitive games because they have a roadmap that makes it a lot easier for them to get to these postseason spots.
Well, you better make sure that you better make sure that you're 11-1 every year, and that might not even do it.
Well, I don't care. You got Notre Dame. Keep being Notre Dame. Just shut up when you don't have the strength of schedule, because that's what it was. You lost the 2 games that really mattered. The rest of the wins didn't matter because you're not playing enough good teams. Period. So if you don't want to be in a conference, that's fine. I just don't want to hear about the complaints after and like throwing a hissy fit because you didn't get to go to the college football playoffs. And then now you're going to have, not let a potential Heisman candidate break out, not let your 3rd or 4th stringers have some tape, have some film out there in case they don't like the directions going or they want to get seen by the coaches, even on staff at Notre Dame, who maybe feel like they're not getting looked at enough. You throw that all away and you tell the fans like, nope, season's over unexpectedly. Sorry, we're in our feelings. That's how I read the entire thing.
I would be shocked if any of their alumni is actually proud of what the decision is. Like for them to look in the mirror and say, no, I'm actually proud about that and I stand by that. I'm like, I wouldn't believe anybody that would get behind that. Because if anybody else did it, they would be the first person to cast a stone.
That's honestly a good question, because how could you be proud of that? If you were that, again, like I said at the beginning, agree or disagree, that's everything against what Notre Dame stands for.
Florida State went undefeated. Won the ACC championship convincingly. It wasn't, oh, they barely squeaked by. No, they murked whoever they played in the ACC championship that year. And they didn't have a loss, and they still got left out. And they still played a very dominant, fully loaded Georgia team and went to town on Georgia. Now, I don't know if all of Georgia's players, their star, but you still have multiple 5 stars, multiple 4 stars, multiple guys that was on that team that still went to the NFL level, and Florida State still whooped them. I don't want to hear it.
Yeah. I'm glad we agreed on that one. I was going to be surprised if you defended Notre Dame.
I like that coach a lot, but honestly, he dropped the ball on that one. I'm like, that's not how you handle that.
Well, whose decision is it? Is always kind of the question for me. Like the morning person, like if it came to your locker and like,
bro, we playing.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, is it a vote?
I'm playing vacation. Like you get about 10 days and a paid free vacation. You stand in one of the best hotels in the city. You getting,
if your team had NIL money,
you getting lovely food and everything like that. Like, I mean, it is what it is. Yeah. It sucks that you're not in that, but you get a good vacation out of it. Like, again, for the seniors and everything like that, you get one last time to go out there and everything like that before majority of y'all have to find a real job in about 2 months. Honestly, probably a month after that.
Well, now they got
vacations over.
They got to coast a little bit, but
I mean, because majority of the team didn't. If you're a senior, you probably didn't graduate already. So once you out the doors, that's it. And you, like I said, you're not giving those guys who are going to be chiropractors and stockbrokers or whatever else that they want to be outside of football that aren't going to the NFL. Like, I'm interested to see what Kyle Hamilton says about it. Hopefully, the media asks him of the Baltimore Ravens. He's played under that coach and everything like that. I want to see what he says about it.
That's the best point you made so far. Well, not the best point, but certainly a great question. Like, I would love now to just have people go ask former Notre Dame players or even just people on Notre Dame's campus.
Supporters.
What do you think? Like, what do you say to all the moms and dads who want to see their kid one last time, and then they wake up and find the news of like, oh, okay, season's over, and I missed the last game because I assumed for sure we'd have a bowl game, whether it's the playoffs or a bowl game. we knew we were good enough, and now we're just not even.
Because if somebody else did it and they were playing and everything like that, they would be that's not right, this and this and that. But when you do it, now you want people's sympathy for you and you want to tuck your chest. No, like you can't have it both ways. Like that's not a proud thing to be. If I was, an alum or something like that, I would be embarrassed. Yeah, that's not a good look.
Yeah, they were kind of leaning towards the heel of being the villain. But it feels like these past few seasons, this move just said, yeah, we're the villains. Like no one, certainly not going to respect us for this decision, and they'll live with it. I have yet to hear one person say, I totally get it, Notre Dame, that's the right call.
And they can always reverse it.
What is it out of 0 to 100%? What odds does Notre Dame change it?
Maybe 10%.
I was going to go like 2%. They're stubborn up there, the Fighting Irish. All right, that's going to wrap it up for us. That is the Morning Pierson-El. I'm Harrison Arns, DP, coming up next.
If you came across someone